His partner Killua Zordik, who has appeared in the story from the beginning and has passed through the line of death together with Gon. I am sure that I am not the only reader who was moved by the way he supported Gon, who tended to do reckless things, and by the way he grew up. This time, I would like to discuss the possibility that Killua, who can be said to have laid the foundation of Hunter x Hunter's popularity, may not appear in the story anymore. I will discuss the possibility that Killua, who is said to have built the foundation of Hunter x Hunter's popularity, may not appear in the story anymore. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a high rating. Please let us know your thoughts on Killua's appearance in the comments. Killua's growth has been drawn out. There is a theory floating around on the internet that Killua may not appear in the Dark Continent arc. There is a theory floating around on the internet that Killua will not appear in the Dark Continent arc. It seems strange that Killua, one of the main characters and one of the most popular characters in the series, would not appear. Then, why are these rumors being whispered? It is because the manga has already depicted the growth of Killua. Most characters in manga have their own goals and objectives, don't they? For example, Kurapika, one of the main characters, has a goal to get back his friend's Scarlet Eyes and to avenge the Phantom Brigade, which killed his entire family. Although Kurapika is currently playing a very active role in the Dark Continent arc, if he achieves these two objectives within the Black Whale, there is a great possibility that Kurapika will not appear thereafter. Initially, the purpose of Killua's journey should have been to find what he wants to do. In the presidential election episode, Killua succeeded in rescuing Arca, who had been imprisoned by the Zordik family, and after that, he left Gon, who had revived from near death, and set off with Arca. In other words, the thing that Killua found through his adventures with Gon was to protect Arca from Illumi's hands, and it can be said that this has already been accomplished halfway through the story. In addition, Killua is one of the most matured characters in the story. Since his appearance in the Hunter exam section, you have seen many aspects of mental immaturity in Killua. For example, in the final exam of the Hunter examination, Killua was very upset by Illumi's skillful speech, and he failed the exam by killing another student. In the early stages of the Chimera Ant arc, he left Kite in the face of Pito's overwhelming aura and fled like a rabbit with Gon. Whether or not Killua's judgment was wrong, this incident left a big mark on him even later. However, through his adventures with Gon and others, and by pulling out Illumi's control needle in the Battle of Amont, Killua has grown up a great deal since then. Here, I will explain the scenes in which Killua has grown mentally and emotionally in turn. From an emotionless killing weapon to a human being. When Killua is reunited with Illumi in the Hunter examination version, he is told, "You are a dark puppet without heat." In fact, he kills mob characters relatively easily in the Hunter exams, and eventually even takes on Padoro, Leolio's opponent. The expression dark puppet that Illumi used is probably correct. Time passed, and at the Hunter examination held in the Greed Island arc, Nero called him a resident of the darkness. Nero described Killua as a dweller rather than a doll, didn't he? It is certain that Killua has changed from a weapon to a human at this point by working together with Gon and others. In fact, Padoro was the last time Killua killed a human being in his works. It can be said that Killua showed signs of growth from relatively early on by working with Gon and his group. Also, in the Chimera Ant version, she shed tears as she took a stand to protect Gon from Lamont. It is hard to believe that Killua is a dark puppet without heat. It is because dolls do not protect people or shed tears. This change in Killua is evident in his interaction with Arca. It is hard to imagine Killua being so dejected with Arca as he was at the beginning of the story, isn't it? Anxiety about leaving Gon to die. Killua was predicted by Illumi that she would want to kill Gon someday. Even Baisuke says, "You will leave Gon for dead someday." Although the nuance is somewhat different, for Killua, both of their statements were spot on. For Killua, their comments were right on target, as he had actually left Kaido halfway to death. However, the reason for Killua's cautiousness, which could be described as cowardice, is not his natural disposition, but the needle implanted in him by Illumi. He was taught not to fight against those he couldn't beat, so he ran away from Pito, and was even scared to death of an opponent like Lamont. However, in the battle against Lamont, Killua finally succeeded in removing the needle that had been secretly inserted into him by Illumi. As a result, he instantly killed Lamont, who had been beaten to a pulp, and awakened to his original confident Killua. The fact that he was not afraid to take a step forward against the strongest class in the work, such as Yuppie and Puhu, also confirms this. Refraining from Gon's outbursts. Killua is depicted as being reserved even toward Gon, his best friend, because he left Kite to die. For example, Gon traveled alone with Pito to repair Kite. Normally, Killua would have wanted to fight Pito as one with Gon. After defeating the Chimera Ant, he said, "I wanted him to say that we should defeat it together," which is also true. In the first place, considering their relationship, there is no need for Killua to be reserved toward his best friend Gon. It can be said that Killua was feeling a sense of inferiority toward Gon because of the fact that he had left Kaido to die. He saved Arca and became equal with Gon. After rescuing Arca from Zordic's mansion, Killua overcame Illumi's obstructions and eventually succeeded in removing Gon's consciousness. After rescuing Arca and curing Gon, Killua's relationship with Gon, which had been strained, was restored, and just before they parted, Killua cracked a joke even to Gon. Thus, it can be said that Killua, who had been mentally unstable since the beginning of the story, grew up in the blink of an eye through his friendship with Gon and others and by removing Illumi's control needle. In addition, I believe that Killua became true friends with Gon after overcoming hardships in the Chimera Ant and the election of the chairman. In episode 64, it is mentioned that the purpose of Killua's adventures with Gon was to find what he wanted to do. His adventures with Gon lasted for a long time, but at the end of the presidential election episode, Killua went on a trip with Arca. In other words, Killua's determination to protect Arca means that he has completed his journey to find what he wants to do. These facts can be paraphrased as in terms of the manga, Killua's growth has been fully portrayed. Although Killua has been very active up to the election of the chairman, I believe that when he appears in the Dark Continent arc, he will most likely be bored out of his mind with nothing to do and no purpose. Killua is a leading figure who has supported Hunter x Hunter for many years. I was impressed by the way she stood up to Arumi, who was nothing but a symbol of fear, without fear. I hope that Killua will make a new goal and reappear in the Dark Continent arc. That's all for this time. See you in the next video.